Have you been friend zoned? Are you obsessing about a girl's reactions to what you're doing and what you should do next with her? If so, this video is for you. What's up, Bulldogs? I'm John Sonmez from BulldogMindset.com, and I help you on this channel to go from the victim mindset to the Bulldog mindset to stop being a nice guy and start being a guy that takes what he wants out of life and is successful. So in this video, what we're going to be talking about is being a nice guy. We're going to talk about some mistakes that this person that emailed me has been making, and I'm going to help you to understand exactly why some of these things that seem like good things that a lot of guys are trying to do, because you're a good guy. You're trying to be a nice guy. You're trying to be someone who is courteous and is a gentleman, but why it's backfiring and it's fucking you up and it's making it so that girls do not want to sleep with you. They do not want to have a relationship with you. Instead, they basically want to stay at arm's length and be friends. So I don't know why I decided to do this video in this format. I guess because I was going through my email and I decided I want to answer this, and then I didn't want to do it in the email because I don't want to reveal this guy's personal information here. So it's a long email, but you can follow along with me. And what am I going to say about this? All right. If you haven't already, by the way, click that subscribe button, click the bell to get notifications, and join the Bulldog crowd. Become a Bulldog here, and let's change your life. All right, let's dig into this because this is pretty interesting. So he starts off by saying, I've been following your channel for a while now, and I appreciate what you've been doing for your followers and their confidence. I was wondering what your opinion or advice would be on my situation. Okay, and I got to tell you, man, before we get into this, I'm going to be fucking harsh. Okay, I'm going to tear you a new asshole because I love you, all right? So don't take it, the wrong way here. But hey, you came and you asked me for advice. I appreciate that you've been following the channel, and I appreciate that you want advice from me, but I'm not going to hold anything back. And, for most people, I think that's what they would prefer. So here we go. First, I wanted to say that I've been on my own self-actualization path, and your videos have helped me in some way open my mind further, and I appreciate that. Cool. Awesome. Everyone should be on their self-actualization path. All right, now here's where the trouble begins, guys. So I've known this girl for about a year now, and we've had some serious ups and downs. Okay, when I first met her, I wasn't sure what to think of her. She seemed to be interested in me, and after talking to her for some time, I decided that I did like her too. She always seemed enthusiastic to see me and such. Long story short, I asked her out. She said yes, but never followed up with me. Okay, so a couple of things here, even from the very beginning here. I just want to point out some things. This is how I analyze things. So he's known this girl for about a year now and had some serious ups and downs. Not really. You haven't had ups and downs. You're not in any kind of relationship, not in any kind of thing. Like, it's in your mind. The relationship, as far as it exists, is in your mind. It's not in her mind. She doesn't even consider you probably very much at all, right? So you have a relationship. You have some ups and downs. So this is important for you guys to realize. And I don't mean to be mean, but I'm just saying, you have to remember that an attractive girl is getting messages from all kinds of guys. You're just one of these guys that is going through the same kind of shit with her. Like, she's got a lot of options. She's getting texts from all these kind of guys. She's basically got a ton of guys that are going after her and options, and each one thinks that she's special, and each one thinks that he's evaluated her and found her to be special. Not the case. Okay, so that puts us right into the next line here. When I first met her, I wasn't sure what to think of her. And this is what happens a lot of times with you guys with the crushes, is that you're like, well, she wasn't like a stunningly beautiful girl. No, that's not the girl that you have a crush on. It's that whole Madonna horror complex, right? The girl that's really, really hot is typically not the girl that you have the crush on. It's the girl next door, where you've got this kind of mixed type of thing going on. And so that's what you have to watch out for. So don't think just because you evaluated her and decided that you liked her because you spent some time talking to her, that means anything. It doesn't mean jack shit. Okay. Other guys come to the same exact conclusion. It doesn't make her special. You might think in your head, you might rationalize and say, oh, well, she's not like this super, super attractive girl, so you know, the fact that I'm showing interest in her is a benefit to her. Now, trust me, there's a lot of guys that are thinking the exact same thing. Then it doesn't matter. It's the intent that you're putting off there. So okay, so it says here, he says here, she always seemed enthusiastic to me and such. Long story short, I asked her out. Again, I'm not trying to be harsh here when I'm talking about this. Okay, so all right, so here's the first mistake here. She said yes, but never followed up with me. After seeing her a few times in a casual setting, and then I didn't bring up having asked her out and treated her as I did before. I heard from someone she thought I was strange and that I was following her. Okay, so let's just go right here. Okay, as far as the asking her out, what does asking her out mean? You said, "Hey, would you like to go out with me sometime?" That's a pretty kind of that's not a great idea. Not a great. So here's the problem there's a couple problems with it. One, you're making it so that you're asking her something, right? And here's the thing also is a girl in that position, a lot of times she's just going to say yes because it's non-committal and she doesn't want to hurt you or let you down or hurt your feelings or anything like that. You're kind of backing her in a corner if you're just asking her out, okay? And then, you said here, so, okay, after seeing her a few times, the casual saying I did, or you said, let's see, you asked her out. So I don't have very many details. She said yes, but never followed up with me. Okay, this is a big, big, big alarm here. Dude, you're the man, right? So you may have actually been in a good position with this girl, okay, at first. All right, and you probably were. But when you're expecting her to follow up, that's just bizarre. That's just craziness. There is not a girl that you're going to be attracted to that is going to follow up with you when you ask her out. I mean, it's a very, very, very rare thing. Okay. So you've got to be the man and you've got to follow up and you've got to set up exactly what you want to do, right? I wouldn't even ask her out, right? I wouldn't suggest that you do that at all. Instead, if you're going to text her, and that's what I'm guessing that you did, right? Because did you actually get her on the phone? That's even better. But he says, I asked her out. You said you asked her out via what? Probably via text or some kind of electronic format. You should have just talked to her. You should have just gone up to her and been like, hey, let's go, grab a drink sometime. What do you think about it? What's your availability like? Let's go Thursday night. Let's go grab a coffee Thursday night. Let's go grab a couple of drinks Thursday night, right? And actually directly talk to her. Then you would have had basically an advantage there of being someone who has the confidence to just go out and do that, right? Now, if you did it by text, it's okay. You can, but again, you have to say you have to make definite plans, okay? And you're not just going to just be just asking this question from the get-go, right? You're going to text her, maybe say something funny, and then she responds back, and now you're saying, hey, I'm going to go grab I'm going to grab a drink with some buddies of mine. Why don't you come along? What are you doing? Right? Something like that, where you're not specifically asking her out. You're just saying, hey, I'm going to go and do this thing. Come and join me. I'm going to go hiking tomorrow. You want to come with me? All right. Whatever it is, so that you're not specifically, quote, asking her out, and then you don't get into the situation. Right. That's kind of one of the real important lessons here. Okay. So let's just move on here. I heard from someone that she thought I was strange and that I was following her. After that, I started ignoring her and distancing myself from her because, hey, why do I need someone who thinks of me in that way as part of my life, right? I'm not believing it. Okay, and I'll tell you why. Okay, because you're rationalizing here. I know what you're doing here, and you know what you're doing here. What you're doing here is you are trying to ignore her in order to get her to respond. It's a tactic. You're not actually thinking. You're saying to me, okay, and you're saying to yourself, why do I need someone who thinks of me that way as part of my life? But that's not true. What you're actually trying to do is you're trying to withdraw in order to get her to chase. and that is going to come off as needy behavior. Even though it seems like you're doing the opposite, it becomes pretty apparent what you're doing. So it's just not good for you, even if she doesn't notice. And maybe she's not noticing it at all, right? Like, did you even notice I was ignoring your text? Well, you never texted me, so I don't even care. Like, that's probably what is going through her mind, is like, I didn't notice that you were ignoring me because I didn't notice you, right? Again, not trying to be harsh, but I'm just saying this is the reality of a hot girl. Okay, so again here, like, don't do this. Don't do this, and don't worry. And here's the other thing: if you heard from someone that she thought you were strange, and that you're following her, then you have kind of choices, right? Some of the choices that you have are to directly confront her and be like, hey, I just heard this, whatever. I just wanted to bring it up. Whatever. Again, at that point, you should just be like, hey, by the way, let's we talked about grabbing a drink or something. What do you think about Thursday? Like, just put it up there so you can either face it or not, right? So you can be rejected or not. Like, let's not play games here, right? This is kind of the things here. So the other thing that you could do is you can confront that person. Like, if someone tells you that, this rumor or whatever, directly talk to them. And in fact, one of the things you can do is you can be like, hey, well, why don't we grab so-and-so and find out if this is true, right? If you suspect it, right? I've done it before where someone has told me something and I've said, oh, okay, well, fine, let's go and talk to them. They're like, no. And then I'm like, why? If this person told you that I was creepy and following them, let's just get it out. Like, you're the one who's saying that they said it, so let's go and find out. Bam, that just kills any of those kind of rumors or things like that. Okay, so then, but she started trying to get my attention, like calling out to me when she saw me, etc. So I bumped into her one day and decided to confront her about it. She said that her ex started the rumor out of jealousy. I know him too, but not as well. And she hated that they did that to me. Okay, these are really bad signs here. So here's a couple of things here. If she's calling out to you, trying to get your attention, okay, it's kind of a weird dynamic here. It does not mean that she likes you. It means that she likes the attention that you're giving her, which is actually a bad sign, because women like admiration. They like to be, for you to tell them that they're pretty and good looking. They like to have these orbiters. They like to have a lot of nice guys that are pumping up their ego, and you're that guy. And so you stop doing this. Okay. It doesn't mean that she's sexually interested in you, but it means that she noticed that, hey, where's this guy that used to like pump up my ego? I'm going to say hi to him so I can keep him in rotation here, right? And this is what you have to watch out for as a nice guy. And this is where you get into this kind of friend zone and this nice guy zone, is that you're this kind of really safe guy. Okay, and you're this really nice guy, and every time that she sees you, you make her feel good. Okay, but that does not mean that she actually wants to have sex with you, and that's the key. Okay, is that you're doing everything that you think is right, and she's responding right, but she's doing it because she wants to keep you around because she likes the ego boost you're giving her, and this is a pretty good sign of that. Okay. So, and why am I making these kind of assumptions about it, that are basically against you, instead of just like, you might be saying, John, what the fuck, man? Like, why can't you just assume that she does like me? Because of exactly what she's doing. Because if you were direct and she directly wanted to go with you somewhere on a date, some location, right, then she would have. Okay. And she would have been pursuing you if she wanted to pursue you, right? And so if you're getting these kind of signals and you're not actually dating her, you're not actually going out with her, you're not actually having sexualized conversations with her, then it means this. Okay. So let's talk about, again, this whole ex situation. I'm not even paying any credence to this at all. You confronted her about the whole rumor thing. I think that's good. It depends on how you did it, but that's good because that shows some balls to say that. Be like, hey, do you think that, like, someone told me that they think that you think I'm stalking you and I'm kind of weird or strange or whatever. I don't know. Is that true? Like, I just wanted to know, right? I don't know if I would even broach it, but hey, if you did, fine. That's great. It depends on how you did it. But it can come across as validation seeking, right? Like, if you're trying to find out if this is true or not, you care about her opinion. So not necessarily the best Best thing in the world. Okay. So the other thing here is that she hated that they did that to me. Man, you do not want this. Okay. That's pity. Okay. Remember, I've talked about this in a lot of videos that the worst human emotion that you could possibly elicit from someone is pity, especially for a woman that you're interested in. You don't want her to pity you. You don't want to be the guy that other people did shit to you, right? That's the victim. You don't want to be the victim. You don't want to be pitied, right? So you definitely don't want her to feel sorry for you. Okay. If she feels sorry for you, you are not coming across as a dominant alpha man, as a masculine type of man that she is going to be attracted to. You're coming across as someone that, I mean, she might like, give you a hug and take care of you, and you might be her good friend, just like her gay friends and whatnot. But she's not. It's not really going to spark the attraction. The fact that other people have done something to you. Okay. It's better to be the violator. It's better to be the fucking asshole than the guy that was victimized by other guys, especially by her ex-boyfriend. He's just made you look like a little tool because he's done something to you. And now she feels bad that he did this bad thing to you. But guess who she's sleeping with? Okay. Now, she said she did think I was cool and felt bad about backing out of our date, but that her ex makes it complicated, but assured me that she was in fact single. So we agreed to put it off for then. We got along for so let's just dissect this real quick. And guys, yes, I'm being very, very anal about dissecting this because this is you want to read all the clues here. I'm doing it for you, okay? So she said, I think I was cool and felt bad about it. Okay, makes it complicated. She was, in fact, single. So, again, at this point, this may have been an opportunity for you, but you fucked up this opportunity because you should have pressed the matter, right? She's kind of maybe testing here to see if you are an aggressive, dominant male who will actually go after what he wants, okay? Or if you're going to be put off by her ex. Are you afraid of her ex, right? I don't know. There's a lot of possible things that's going on here, but the fact that she said that she thinks you were cool, that's not necessarily a good sign. Felt bad about backing out of the date. Again, you don't want to make her feel bad, right? You should make her be like, oh fuck, that's nothing. Like I went out with whatever. I had a good time. I went out with some friends and stuff, and whatever. So not a big deal. That's what you gotta make it. But or you could be like, hey, you could put her on the hook. You'd be like, hey, look, yeah, no, you're gonna have to make it up to me. Yeah, nope, I'm not accepting anything else. You're just gonna have to. Yeah, we'll see. Let me see here. How can you make it up to me? And then give the question to her, right? Like you're gonna come off as someone who is a little bit more confident, someone who doesn't really care, who isn't trying to like make this happen, is worried that he's gonna blow it, right? And said a guy that that's going to go after what he wants. So then at this point you need to actually make the shit happen, right? You need to say, okay, let's go out, Friday night, let's go grab some drinks, let's do it. Don't worry about being quote pushy here. Instead, you should be direct and aggressive here because she's giving you that opportunity. I mean, if she's saying that yes, she is still single and her ex makes it complicated, be like, oh, fuck him, fuck your ex. I don't give a shit. Let's go. Like, what I mean? And make that happen. At least you're going to know where you're standing here. If you're like, oh, if we've agreed to put it off for then, it's no good. It's no good. You need to actually find out where, like, be brave enough to find out where you stand directly and to make this shit happen. We got along for a bit, but then I sort of got pushy, I guess, and asked her out again too soon. And she became hesitant and told me she doesn't feel that way about me and I'm not what she wants in her life right now, but she thinks I'm a cool guy. Okay, again, the cool guy phrase came up again. It's not good, obviously, right? That's now you can understand why it's not good. And you weren't pushy. That wasn't your problem. It wasn't being pushy, right? Like, you should have asked her out earlier. The fact that you waited so long and then you're this kind of like creepy guy waiting in the wings, right? The fact that you like respected how she felt right then and that you were willing to wait for her and then you waited for the right time and then you asked her out again after all that showed an extreme amount of neediness, right? if you think about that, right? Because what she's thinking in her mind is like, this guy really like is crushing on me hard, because like he asked me out once, okay, and then like he cared about some rumor that I was thought he was creepy or whatever, and was following me enough to talk to me about it, and then to talk about the whole situation, and then to put it off, and then and then to like later on ask me out again. Like, this guy is really really head over heels. I don't know if I want to like get into a relationship, or even like date this guy, or even like go on a date or be alone with this guy, because it seems like he's kind of obsessed about me already. He doesn't even fucking know me. We haven't even gone on a date. You see what I'm saying? So this is what's going through her mind, likely. And so that's why she's shutting you down hard. She might have actually been interested in you. She might have actually been attracted to you and been interested in you in a sexual way. But because you've set things up like this, and because you've come across as so needy, and you've drawn this out, you've made it, put her in a position where if she even says she's going to go out with you, she's going to think that you're going to assume too much, right? So she doesn't want to lead you on. She doesn't want to get into that situation. And so you've kind of set yourself up in a very bad place, where she's going to have to say that she doesn't feel that way about you, because you're putting her on the spot to make a decision. Instead, if you made it very informal, again, like I said, don't even ask her out. If you just said, hey, I'm going to go and do this activity with a couple of friends, why don't you come and join us, right? Or I'm going to go have some drinks at such and such bar with some buddies, and they're going to bring their girlfriends or whatever, or some friends. There'll be a bunch of us there, why don't you come with us? Or, hey, I'm going to this thing, I happen to have an extra ticket, or so, I'm looking to see who might like to go. I thought you might like to go. Let's go, go do this thing, right? Something that's really informal, where you're not committal, where it's not quoted date, where you can kind of just spend some time with her. You see what I'm saying? That's going to be a better thing, because it's going to make it so that she's not having to make this decision, especially when she knows. Now, if you did this from the very beginning, it's not as big of a deal. But when you have this history like this, it's going to make it seem like if she agrees to do anything with you that is a quote date, that she's potentially leading you on. She's giving you a much bigger signal than she wants to. She may just want to figure out, right? So you've kind of eliminated those situations. So I responded respectfully. I told her I didn't mean to put her on the spot, and it was no big deal. I respect her choice. Rejection doesn't bother me much. Okay, so again, stop being a chode here, man. Like, fuck that. I don't care about responding respectfully. Don't tell her that you don't mean to put her on the spot and it's no big deal. I mean, it should be no big deal. And don't tell her you respect her choice. Fuck that. Okay. And it's good that rejection doesn't bother you much, but don't pre-reject yourself here in this case. Just, in this situation where she's already told you that, like, you've already put yourself in a bad situation, but you really should have made it so that I would say even something like, just misinterpret what she said. Like, if she said, oh, if she says something to you, like she said, what did she say? I don't really feel that way about you. And be like, whoa, 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 hold on, sister here. I didn't say that I felt that way about you either. I just wanted to go and hang out, and you're kind of pushing things a little forward, thinking, assuming a little too much here. I'm just inviting you to go on an activity with me. It doesn't mean, don't read too much into this here, right? You see what I'm saying? So you can basically do that, so that you're not putting yourself out there in that situation of being rejected by her. You can essentially unreject yourself, right? And if she is, the other alternative is if she is telling you this, right? Again, I'm not saying to act disrespectfully, okay? But what I am saying here is that you don't need to humble yourself, and you don't need to like be deferential to her in this case, and to to tell her you don't mean to put her on the spot. You don't need to say any of that stuff. You shouldn't be saying any of that stuff. You can just ask again. You can just be like, you know what, that's cool, but but whatever, right? I'm just saying, like, don't put yourself in this lower position. That's no good. Okay. If you're gonna just walk away, then just walk away, right? And if you feel like she's leading you on, then don't fucking tolerate it. Just disappear, and don't have anything to do with her in your life. Okay. All right. So anyway, I don't want to be a dead horse here. However, she started acting on edge and guarded around me when I would see her after that. She'd be nice, but she'd frown if I said hi and act distracted if I spoke. So I started distancing myself from her because I didn't want to make her uncomfortable. I focused on building myself and my confidence again. Again, the focus, and it's just like what I was trying to say about the other one with responding respectfully and putting her on the spot. It's the same thing here. I'm thinking of it now as I'm thinking about this, which is don't worry about this shit. Okay, like the fact that you are purposely modifying your behavior, doing things to go out of your way that are going out of your way to make her feel more comfortable. It's bad. It reeks nice guy all over it. It reeks that you care too much. It's needy. It's no good. Okay, so don't worry about this. Don't like distance yourself because you don't want to make her feel uncomfortable. Fuck that. Like you just have to just do what you're going to do and live your life. And if she feels uncomfortable, that's her deal. That's like, you may have set some of these things up, but you can't be like living in reactive mode. If you're living in reactive mode like this, it's going to be very apparent and very needy, and not just to her, but to everyone around that you're doing this, right? Instead, just live. Just fuck that. It doesn't matter. All right. Let's move on here. Okay. Which I didn't lose per se, but it took a hit more from the false claim from her ex than the rejection. So, yeah, I can understand your confidence taking a hit there for sure. I mean, anyone's confidence would take a bit of a hit there. It doesn't matter. But part of the reason why it took a hit there is because you've wrapped so much up into this one girl. If you were dating other girls, if you're spinning multiple plates, it wouldn't fucking matter. Like this is just one hoe on your on your sled. Like again, not trying to disrespect the girl or anything. I'm just saying, like, you got to have that mentality. If you understand what I'm saying, right? This is the mentality that you have to have. Otherwise, you're going to come across as needy. Okay. One day I saw her again and commenting and passing without really thinking about it. Uh, that I thought she was looking really done up and really good. After that, she started saying hi to me again without the guarded body language. And after a brief exchange one morning, she hovered near me after we said goodbye. So I gave her a hug. Now we hug almost every time we see each other, and she seems to enjoy the broken touch barrier, and we've been getting along really good. Okay, so, again, this is going to kind of shatter your dreams here, but fuck, that's what I'm here for. This is actually bad. It's not good. It seems like it's good. Not good. Okay. So first of all, mistake here is you commented on her appearance. You told her that she was looking really good. Okay. And you gave her a bunch of validation. If you want her to chase you, take the validation away. Okay. Now don't do it in such a way that you're just a complete asshole or in such a way that it's obvious what you're doing. But if you're telling her that she looks good, oh, she loves that. She's already got it from. She knows that she has you under her thumb. She's got you, you know, where she wants you. Okay. Now she doesn't actually want you, but she wants you to be in the position where you are pumping her up, pumping up her ego. Remember what I said before about orbiters and nice guys? Girls love that. Now they're not doing it because they're malicious or mean or anything like that. I don't attribute any of it to any of that. It's just a natural human behavior, right? They just want to feel good about themselves and feel like they're pretty. And it's great if some guy's telling them that, right? The guy that they're actually going to sleep with is the guy that they're not getting the validation from, the one that they're not sure if he likes them, the one that they're not sure if he likes the way that their hair looks today, the one that hasn't already thought that they're perfect, right? Like you think she's perfect. You think she's awesome. She's great. She loves that. So she's going to want to have you around. So then, of course, she's going to start saying hi to you again without the guarded body language, okay? Because she knows that you are in her fan club again, and she wants to see the number one person in her fan club. She loves her number one fan, not in a romantic way, more in like a teddy bear way, but she wants to see him, and she's going to give him a big old hug every time she sees him, and she loves it and makes her feel all good and warm and like she's loved, okay? Even though the heartbreaking guy is rejecting her. Okay. That's the thing. You rather be the heartbreaking guy. Okay. Don't be the fucking little puts. Don't be the teddy bear that's all cuddly, right? It's not a good sign. Just because she's getting close to you, she hugs her mom too. Okay. She's not sleeping with her mom. I just had to process that for a second. All right. So anyway, all right, let's move on here. We're almost at the end of this. So okay, now comes in my stance on the situation. I've always told myself that if a girl rejected me, I wouldn't get hung up over it, and that her answer is final, and I would respect it and not pursue further. Okay, this is wrong. Again, I'm not trying to pick on you. I really am not, but I'm going to kick your ass here. That it's wrong in the thinking, okay? Because you're being too fucking respectful, okay? She's just a girl, all right? You need to put yourself first, not her, not this random girl that you don't know. It's good to not get hung up over it if you get rejected by a girl, but at the same time, fuck that. Her answer is never final. Don't respect her answer. Keep on pursuing if you want to pursue. Go for it. Again, I'm not saying be a needy, pushy guy. I'm just saying that, like, hey, you can be rebuffed and then you can come right back and be like, you know what? You can reject me as many times as you want. I'm just going to keep on coming, right? and you can do that. That's fine. I'm not suggesting that's the best course of action in this case, but hey, there's no reason why you can't do that. Don't be like this really nice, gentlemanly guy that's going to respect that she said no and that she's rejected you and her answer is final. No answer is fucking final. No answer is final. You can always appeal the answer. Now, you don't want to be coming across as someone who needs to appeal the answer, but just assume that it means no for now and whatever may happen in the future, okay? Again, it doesn't mean to stalk her and to like obsess about her. I would just forget this bitch, okay? Like forget her, okay? But at the same time, don't be this very differential type of guy that's doing this out of nobility. You don't want to be a white knight. And I have been good at following through with that still, even though I am thrilled to have her as a friend like this. Are you? Are you really thrilled to have her as a fucking friend like this? You need to ditch her as a fucking friend, my friend. You need to ditch her, okay? It's not good. You're not happy with that. I'm uncertain as to whether or not I should see if she's changed her mind. The only condition I would go out with someone who has rejected me. Well, obviously. How are you going to go out with someone who's rejected you if they haven't changed their mind about you? If they don't want to go out with you? I mean, you could kidnap them, I suppose. All right, or leave it as is and just enjoy the company and friendship we have as it is now. Thank you for your input. Cheers, Mike. So again, I'm not trying to just fucking totally bust your balls, Mike, but I am busting your balls. So, but here's the thing. Fuck that, man. Do you really want to be friends? Like, do you not have enough guy friends? You need guy friends, okay? Fuck having girlfriends. Unless they're actually romantically inclined girlfriends, unless you're actually going to be sleeping with them, right? Then fuck that. You don't have them as your friends. You need to tell this girl to fucking hit the door, hit the bricks, get the fuck out of here and get her out of your life completely and not be friends with her, right? You need to have, with all the girls that you have in your life, okay, you need to have this rule. Either they are romantically involved with you, you're in some kind of a relationship. It doesn't have to be a relationship, but the nature of the interaction is one of man to woman, is sexual in nature, or you don't interact with them. They're not your friends, okay? There might be some acquaintances, you might see them and you might have some friends in common, but you're not friends with them. Okay, that is key. You need to hold that line as a man. Otherwise, you're going to keep on getting moved into the friend zone. And you will find that some of the girls, when you essentially give them this ultimatum, when you're essentially like, you know what, that's cool. I got plenty of friends. I don't need another friend. All right. I'm not really interested in you to be a friend. Okay. You'll find that some girls, they will react to that by, it's basically, that's the withdrawal of validation. They're like, oh, I'm not good enough to be like you. Well, and they're not thinking I'm not good enough to be your friend. They're thinking, is this guy actually doesn't think I'm beautiful enough, that I'm attractive enough, that he would want to just hang around me and be an orbiter and give me gifts and give me hugs and tell me how good looking I am all the time? What's going on? And now she's going to seek your validation. Sometimes it's not going to happen all the time. Okay. But sometimes that will be the case. So anyway, that's where you're at with this whole situation. And for you guys that have been following along this long video, that's my whole breakdown of this whole thing here. And like I said, you know, the biggest thing, Mike, is that you've got to do a couple things. One of them is you need to have other options. So you need to be not obsessing over one girl. You need to be going out with other girls, talking to them, right? That's key. Okay. Number two, you need to stop being a nice guy. I've got a video on being a nice guy. You can check it out here in the playlist, or it'll be in the cards in the comments. Okay. Or description. And then the third thing that you need to do, and what I'll say about being a nice guy is you need to stop like trying to be this like white knight gentleman type of like respecting her wishes bullshit. Okay, you need to change that mindset and stop trying to do that, because that is going to make you come across needy. And you don't even know this fucking girl. You don't even like, don't give her a bunch of fucking respect just because she's a woman. Doesn't fucking matter. Okay, you need to have more respect for yourself and have self-respect for yourself. And women are generally attracted to guys that are selfish. Okay, and when I say selfish, I mean that they put their needs above random people that are not even their friends, that they're not dating. Okay, so you put your needs above hers. That's what you need to do at this stage. Okay, and you need to be treating the rest of the women that you're interacting with the same way. Okay, the third thing that you need to do here is to be more dominant, more aggressive, and more sexually aggressive with your intent. Okay, you need to clearly communicate to women when you're interacting with them that you're a man, that you're a sexual man, that you don't have any need for female friends, and that you are interested in them in that way. Okay, and that you're unashamed of it, that this is just how it is. Okay, so that it's very, very clear, very, very cut and dry, and you don't get into this friend zones. You don't get into this kind of confusion. Okay, that's number three. And then I'll give you one fourth one is stop putting everything on the list. Like what you're doing a lot is you're making everything high stakes. Okay, because if you quote ask the girl out, again, it's becoming a lot more high stakes. If you're going to go do some activity and you invite her along, you've lowered the stakes. She doesn't have to make a complete decision about you. She doesn't have to decide if she's attracted to you or not. She can just go along for the activity and she can get to know you, and she doesn't have to make that decision. But if you force her to that decision and she suspects at all that you're obsessed with her or stalking her, which I mean you basically are, right? This is true. Okay, I mean the fact that you send this fucking long email to me is proof of it. Again, not trying to knock you, but I'm just saying, like, I've been there. Everyone's been there that's still watching this video, I guarantee you. Okay, but the thing is, it's making it so that the only choice that she can make that's safe is for her to just like say, I don't really see you this way. I just want to be friends, right? She's got to friend zone you because that's her protection mechanism. So uh, I hope that makes sense. Like, again, there's a lot here, a lot to unpack here. Some of this is harsh, but this is reality. This is the truth. This is how it is. And ultimately, if I give you one like kind of all encompassing piece of advice, it'd be don't ever, 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 ever let one particular girl ever occupy this much of your mind space. If you do, you're just gonna fuck it up. Like, there's no way that you can behave in a way that is not needy and not obsessed and coming across and not creepy when you're actually spending so much of your brain cycles thinking about this girl and thinking about how she's doing things and interpreting her actions and how you should act and behave and being responsive and reactive to that. Like, you need to instead like have your own mission, have your goals. It's good that you're doing the self-empowerment, that you're doing the self-actualization and working on yourself. Great, that's great. So focus on that. And this girl, you see her, whatever, and that's why it's better to just like, instead of dragging this out, is just to be very clear, cut and dry, and put yourself into the only bucket that you can be sorted into, which is the sexual relationship bucket, not the friend zone bucket. And you need to do that quickly as you can. And so that if she's saying, no, I'm putting you in the friend zone bucket, you can say, fuck that. I don't need any more friends. Right. And you can basically forget about her. And then you can move on and you don't have to occupy your brain space with this. So, all right, guys, that's a long ass video. Okay. If you've been joining for this long, then, hopefully this has helped you. Let me leave a comment below. Let me know if this has helped you, if you've stayed for this long. Make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and click the bell. And thanks, Mike. Thanks for, for writing this. I mean, it's a good, valid set of questions, and for being a good sport about it, because I know I dug into you pretty fucking hard here, but I'm just trying to give you some harsh truth that's gonna help you in your life. And it's great that you're on this path, and hopefully you found this useful. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. I will talk to you next time. Take care.